guys. Last time we installed Salt Master and Minion, we configured Salt Master and Minion, we ran Salt Master and Minion, and then last but not least, we also tested Salt Master so that it can communicate with the Minion. Today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go through some basic Salt CLI remote execution. So what we'll be doing is that we will be going ahead and running some arbitrary Linux commands that you would normally run on Linux, but this time via Salt. And we would also be doing some administrative tasks such as adding users, modifying files, and installing packages. And I'll also show you how to use the Salt documents because we'll be using the Salt documents a lot. I'll show you how to use them, and I'll also reference them in my videos so that you guys can continue to follow along correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the Salt CLI. So let's do the test.ping once again. As I said, this is targeting every host that this master knows, which is only the one host, which is itself right now, and it's running test.ping. There are several other methods that you can do under test. Ping just returns if the minion returns a true value. If the instance is reachable, it will always return true. Now, some arbitrary commands that you normally do on Linux, such as let's say you want to go ahead and list a certain directory. So we will target again every host, which is going to be the same host, the one host this time, and we will do cmd.run. This is going to run whatever we specify in the single quotes or double quotes that we specify afterwards. So let's run ls/lah/home, and then we'll also do uptime as well. So this is the home directory of that particular machine, and we'll do uptime. See, it's been up for 1 day and so on. Now, if there are more hosts connected to the Salt Master, which we will do later on, we would see multiple returns. So we would see all of the hosts return the uptime, all the hosts return the ls or the list command for that certain directory. Now, let's go ahead and add the users. That was the second thing on our list. So we've run our arbitrary commands. You get the idea of how things work here. We can cat certain files, whatever it is we want to do. Whatever we can do in Linux, we can do with command.run. But let's go ahead and add users. Now, to add users, you can use command.run and then user add whatever it is you want to do. But Salt already made a module for us that makes it a little easier. So we'll do user.add, and I'll verify that on the documentation here. Oops, there we go. So let me go over this a little bit. If you Google, and I'll Google it with you just to get it over there. If you Google Salt execution modules, these are all the modules that you can run on your CLI. So all of these, there's whatever you want to do, there's probably a module for it. And we want to go ahead and add users. So let's go to user add, and here's an example. So Salt, whatever machine you want to target, user.add, and the name. We can specify these afterwards if we want to, but they're not needed. So we'll just use this first part. And let's say this is Mo Ali, just for the heck of it. All right, it returns true. So since it returned true, that must mean it succeeded. So this machine, the Salt Master Minion, which is the machine that I'm on right now, must have a user named Mo Ali. Let's see. If I do sudo, yep, there we go. I'm connected to Mo Ali. Look at that. And let's see if it gave me a home directory. And it did. It gave me a home directory. So let's go ahead and delete this user because I don't really need it at this point. And we should have it's right here. See, user delete. And we also want to use remove equals true to delete my home directory. If we don't, then my home directory will still exist. And some people will require you to keep the directory just in case the leaving employee may have some files that the company still needs. So, but in this case, we're going to go ahead and delete it. So sudo salt, oops, user.delete mo.le, and we will say remove equal true. And it's gone. So, oops. There you go. Even my home directory is gone. Now we've created a user. We've run arbitrary Linux commands. Let's go ahead and create the MOTD file of this particular machine. Let's see if there's a module for it first. MOTD, message of the day. Let's see. It is, unfortunately, it does not look to be here. Let's search MOTD. Nope. Okay. Unfortunate. So let's go ahead and we'll use the file command. I've had this pulled up just in case. We'll use the file module. So salt file.append etc motd with whatever we want to append to it. We'll have a short message just to be safe and keep it short and concise. So sudo salt target every machine file.append, and it is /etc/motd. Hello salt users, or experts maybe. When we all become experts. And then wrote one lines to etc motd. So look at that, it appended. So the original motd is this right here, which is given by Amazon Linux, and then we appended to that. It says hello salt experts. And most people would probably in any company would put that, you know, if you're not authorized to access this machine, please leave now, otherwise you'll be prosecuted, and so on. All right. Last but not least, I had it on my list to install packages, Git and Nginx. So when installing packages, we can't be operating system agnostic because we have to be able to provide what type of operating system this is, whether it's Yum, whether it uses Yum, which is a Red Hat based operating system, or apt-get, which is Debian, or dpackage, whatever it is that we have. So we have to specify the Yum package module, which is on the documents on the same execution modules page that we were just looking at. There is one that's called Yum package. If I'm not blind, if we can find it. Oh, here we go. All right, so Yum package, and we'll just use this. So we'll say package dot install. Yep, Yum package install. There it is, package dot install, and then the package name. All right, so we'll say sudo salt pkg.install, install, and then the package name is, in this case, we'll do git, and there's no options that we want to use afterwards, but can we use multiple? Let's try and use multiple. We'll use git and nginx. It only installed git, unfortunately, so let's use nginx and see what happens. And there we go. So it went ahead and installed these particular packages, so git and then any sort of dependencies that's needed for git, as well as the dependencies needed for nginx. So that way we can keep track if just in case we need to remove it and so on. All right. So now that we've installed these modules, we can go ahead and remove them if we want to, but truth be told, the CLI, you will not be doing some of these tasks to the CLI. You don't want to be doing some of these tasks to the CLI because you want to be saving these in a configuration, which is what the state execution files are for. You want to save these in a configuration and then just run that file over and over and over again for every new machine you get. and or however you want to make it work. So that's the true side of DevOps. You develop on the file and then you just run the file. The next video, we're going to be doing exactly just that. We're going to be creating our own state execution file. So we just run the file however many times as we want. And we'll also be utilizing the other Salt Minion instance that I've launched, and we'll make that into a web host. And we'll install Git and Nginx and maybe a few other things that I've decided to add it on actually on that particular host. And we'll write that on our execution file. We'll run it on that host and then watch it go. All right. So please join me for the next video, and I'll see you guys there.